to go live. I'm also going to record, and we are live. Good morning. Welcome everybody to 1 Million Cups. If the app is working, please check in. If not, don't worry about it. What you can do is put your information into the chat. We are thrilled to have you here at 1 Million Cups Fairfax this morning, bright and early. One of the great things about this group is that you can come every Wednesday at 9 a.m., come a little bit early at 8:45 for networking, but you can skip a week if you need to. We'll miss you, but it's really an event for the community, for the business leaders in the area. When we think about 1 Million Cups, for folks who don't know, it is a national organization. We're just one of the over 160 chapters across the country. The mission really is around helping educate people, helping them launch their business, grow their business from startup to being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. We welcome having business owners here to pitch or present their business concept and get feedback from the community. One thing that is important, although it can be fun to give a business pitch and seek funding, that is not what we are about. So this is not a pitch. This is really a presentation. Every week, a business owner presents a question or challenge their company might be facing, and the group gives feedback for free, not even just for coffee, for free, because we like to help business owners so much. So again, it is a presentation. It's a chance to introduce your business, talk about it, share it with the community for 6 to 8 minutes, and then get free feedback on what to think about, questions to ask, and how to move forward. So we are a friendly lot. We don't bite, right? We do like to give candid but compassionate feedback. It's a safe space. There's no bad ideas. We do capture ideas in chat. This is all volunteer led. So all of the organizers that are on here, we do this because we love it, not because we're paid millions and trillions of dollars. If you are interested in being an organizer or learning how to volunteer, just let us know. We're happy to have more. So there are other ways to engage besides just the app. You can join our LinkedIn group. You can follow our page on Facebook. You can check us out on Twitter as well as Instagram. If you do sign up for the app, or you go to 1millioncups.com/Fairfax and apply to present, you become part of our community. We send out a weekly email on Mondays, letting you know who's coming up that week for the presenter. And if you're curious about presentations from the past, you can go look at our YouTube channel and see what that looks like and what the experience is like. We've got over 150 presentations since this group is several years old, which is very exciting. So lots of ways to engage, and we love to have people engage. So these are our organizers. I'll go ahead and kick us off. Donnell Johns is actually one of our founding organizers. I'm Jen Dalton with Brand Mirror, and I will turn it over to John New to introduce himself.
Hi, I'm John New. I'm part of the organizing group here. I really enjoy being part of the fantastic group, especially as a business owner with a group that is smart and very supportive of the local business community. Thank you.
I'm Melinda Sigel, the Sales and Marketing Connection. I'm behind the slides right now, and I want to welcome everybody here this morning, and can't wait to hear the presentation by Jennifer.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Rosemary Savino with Gravitate. It's great to see everybody. I just want to say, the day before Veterans Day, a great, huge thanks to all of our veterans for their service and to their families for supporting them and us.
Thank you for that. We also have brand ambassadors. So brand ambassadors are just out spreading the word of this group. Again, this is free feedback for business owners. So it's a great way to meet other business owners, get input and insight from a diverse group. John Foster is on the call today, one of our brand ambassadors. I know he is driving, but if he wants to unmute for a second and just say hi and be safe, that would be great.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks a lot, Jen. Appreciate it. Always appreciate the group and the opportunity to be here, and just enjoy. It's a great way to start the middle of the week off. So, I'm John Foster. I'm the ambassador for Green Fair Health and Wellness. Healthy people, a healthy planet. Thank you so much, Jen. Appreciate it.
Thank you. We love our ambassadors. They give us tons of ideas and feedback. I saw Gresham just joined. He is also another ambassador. Gresham, if you want to say hi, that would be fantastic. But you did just join, so I don't want you to feel pressure. All right, so Gresham has an awesome CEO podcast. Go check it out. You can connect with all of us on LinkedIn and get to know more about us and the businesses we run. But we welcome brand ambassadors too. So if you're interested, let us know. We are 1 Million Cups. Some people ask, why are you called 1 Million Cups? We don't get it. Well, it's because with over 160 chapters across the US, we're all drinking coffee at 9 a.m. in our area or our time zone, hence the 1 million cups of coffee. So we're solving business challenges, getting to know each other over millions of cups of coffee. I've already had 2 this morning. I don't know about you, but we're probably at 1 million if you add all of those up. We do have monthly coffee sponsors. There's no fee for that. It's a chance for you as a coffee sponsor to introduce yourself for 2 minutes and get to get a bit more visibility for your business. We have John Yu from Office Evolution this month. John, if you want to kick us off, thank you for being a coffee sponsor and space sponsor.
All right, thanks, Jen. So I had my coffee this morning. I'm John Yu with Office Evolution. We are a co-working space provider right here located in Tyson's Corner. We provide fully furnished private office as well as a number of flexible virtual space options for small business owners. We love partnering with 1 Million Cups and all the small businesses in our local community. I look forward to meeting everyone, especially when we get back in person. So thank you for your continued support.
Thank you, John. And Ken Portnoy, who's been with us for a very long time, is our coffee sponsor. Hey, Ken, go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Ken Portnoy. I'm with Thayer Partners. Have you ever wondered why some small businesses are just rolling in profits and a lot of small businesses aren't? Well, I know the answer to that. And I help small businesses drive profits by coaching a proven methodology called Profit First. It works the way entrepreneurs work. It's a behavioral methodology. It integrates with traditional accounting, but it focuses on making sure that there's profit in the business by taking profits first rather than making profits an afterthought. Ken Portnoy, Thayer Partners, Profit First certified.
It's true, business owners love launching ideas, and sometimes we forget about the business model piece. So thank you for being our sponsor today. We are looking for our December coffee sponsors. So if you're interested, please reach out to John Yu. He'll drop his email in chat, but you can again message him on LinkedIn as well. So our virtual meetings, if you're new, how this works, we kick off with a 6 to 8 minute presentation from our presenter. Today it's Jennifer Rose. Hooray, we love Jennifer Rose. She's a great member of our community. Then we will transition to questions and answers. So the whole point is to learn as much as you can about the organization, give ideas and feedback. In the meantime, we want to make sure that we're all on mute so we don't have background noise and things like that. But you'll be asked to come off of mute when it's your turn. You can use the raise your hand function in the Zoom menu, or you can wave frantically. I will keep my eye on all of you as well, and we'll make that happen. So thank you again for being here. Please drop your name and organization link to your website in chat. We love having our community members join us this morning. So thank you again for being here. So without further ado, another Jennifer, because there can never be too many Jennifers. Jennifer Rose, please introduce yourself and kick us off.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Jen, for the great warm welcome. I am a huge fan of 1 Million Cups, and it is one of the few upsides of COVID for me personally that I was able to start attending 1 Million Cups meetings. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I'm a little bit different than most businesses that you hear from because I'm a chamber of commerce and it's a private nonprofit entity. So I'm not the business owner, but I'm the one who makes a lot of the decisions that runs this and guides my board of directors who make most of our decisions for us. So as we know, COVID has changed a lot of things for a lot of folks. And I would love to get some insight and feedback from you. So my question today is, given the need for businesses to pivot over the past 2 years, what are business leaders looking for right now? Services, benefits, programs, etc., that would convince them that there's enough return on investment to invest in a chamber membership. All right, just so you understand a little bit about me, my madness, what makes me the woman that I am. I am originally from beautiful Bedford, Virginia. That's down between Roanoke and Lynchburg. I am the oldest of three, classic type A big sister. I have a BA and BS. That's a rhetoric and communications studies degree from the University of Virginia. I did get my master's degree in public administration completely out of boredom while living in southern New Mexico. Fun fact about the pandemic, I taught myself how to crochet last year, something to do. I do love to bake and cook. It is very therapeutic for me, and I love sharing my baked goods with other people. Haven't been able to do that much because of the pandemic, but I'm looking forward to doing it again. I hope to be a professional volunteer one day. And it's not on the slide, but it probably should be. I have been married for 25 years to my husband, who's recently retired from federal service, and I am the proud mama of two teenage boys, a almost 18-year-old high school senior and a 15-year-old sophomore. So I've been involved with the chamber for about 4 years. We have a very long, deep history in the city of Fairfax. We were originally started as a businessmen's association, the Courthouse Square Businessmen's Association, in the late 50s. In 1961, the town of Fairfax lobbied to become the city of Fairfax, and we were supportive of that. In 1963, we officially became the City of Fairfax Chamber of Commerce. The city continued to grow exponentially. We're very happy and proud to support the business community in the city. Fast forward 20 years to 1982, things really starting to move and shake in the central part of Fairfax County. We were getting a growing number of chamber members that weren't just in the city of Fairfax, but that were also outside the city. So 40 years ago, we changed our name to the Central Fairfax Chamber of Commerce. And if you look at a map of Fairfax County, smack dab in the middle of the county is the city, and what I affectionately refer to as the suburbs. So we were able to reach even more businesses, be able to provide even better services, developing relationships with city government, county government, and just being able to do a better job at supporting the businesses. We do still primarily focus on the city of Fairfax since that's our stomping grounds, but you know, we, like I said, like to serve the city and its suburbs. Unfortunately for our chamber in 2008, when the economy tanked, it really hit our chamber very hard. And unfortunately back then, our board of directors didn't make some great decisions, and it kind of made problems bigger, and they ended up letting all the paid staff go. And I'm not quite sure the time. I think it was around 2010, as you'll see on the slide, but it's a little murky. So our chamber was all volunteer led until they hired me in January of 2018 on a very much part-time basis, 15 hours a week on a 6-month contract to reboot this chamber. We had 85 members when I started, and a lot of people that remembered bad experiences with the chamber because there was no return on their investment. The chamber wasn't doing a lot. They were volunteer led. What are they doing? They're not doing anything. I'm not getting anything out of it. So I had to start changing some minds and hearts. The chamber slowly started to grow, and as it grew, my position grew. In 2019, no more contract work for me. I was put on the payroll, working 25 hours a week, and then 30. And then 2020, I started out at 35 hours a week, gonna be hitting full time, 40 hours by the end of the year, and then stupid COVID hit. So it kind of kicked us back a little bit, but I'm very proud to say that at the beginning of this year, I started 40-hour-a-week work weeks, and we are now currently hiring our first part-time marketing assistant to give me some help, because Lord knows I need it. Got a lot of bandwidth issues. So a little more information about the Central Fairfax Chamber. We are one of about 24 chambers of commerce in Northern Virginia. There are a lot of us. We are focused on the small business, the mom and pop shops. In fact, nearly 2/3 of our 220 members have fewer than 5 full-time equivalent employees, a lot of small businesses. Our mission: empower our members with the vision, leadership, and resources to achieve success while contributing to the economic growth and quality of life in our business community. And all the programs benefits that I offer, I hope, are designed to save our members time and money, because that's what you guys need the most. And we offer networking, advocacy, marketing, education, cost savings programs, anything that we can do to help our members save that time and money. Who's our ideal client? I kind of joked and said it's the business owner that needs a crystal ball, but you guys know these are the things, these kinds of questions you see on the screen are things that keep you awake at night. And you may not know who to turn to, but I can help you find answers to these questions and a whole lot of more things. So our ideal client is that business owner who just needs an extra person in their corner working for them and on their behalf. What differentiates us from other chambers? I am huge on collaboration, encouragement, and community. A chamber is a wonderful community of support for a business owner. I joke and say I offer a boutique chamber experience, and I kind of do. I can get pretty customized with what our members want and need. And I am a huge proponent of the value and importance of community networking. And 1 Million Cups is a great example. It helps provide you with access to resources, inspiration from other business owners, connecting you to other folks, whether they're potential clients or partners that can help you, expands your knowledge base, and just gives you the support of a group of like-minded community folks. And we do focus on small business right here in the DMV. So how joining a chamber can help your business grow. There's resources that we provide you. A lot of, I'll cut straight to answers. I'm like the help desk, the information and referral lady. The questions I get are kind of off the wall, but I don't know the answer. I know who knows the answer. There's discount programs. There's community networking opportunities, ways to raise your visibility in the community. Being a member of a chamber provides your business with a sense of credibility. Ooh, they're a member of the chamber. They're a part of the community. And we can provide you with mailing lists for our members. Next slide, Melinda. So there's a few testimonials here. I'm not going to read them all to you, but our members I've got the best members in the world, quite frankly. And I do stay awake at night trying to think of ways that I can help them, support them. Who can I connect them with? How can I serve them better? We have added 15 new benefits of membership since January of 2020. And it covers a variety of things: cost savings programs, ways to get your message out via marketing and communication. We've got private Facebook groups. We've got just all kinds of great things that we've been adding. And I'm always looking for more things to increase that return on investment and that value in your membership. You can jump to the next one, Melinda. It's just another, I love word clouds, picture views, so you can see all the ways that chambers help build those relationships. I mean, that's what networking is all about. It's about relationships, and relationships is truly what builds business. And a chamber of commerce, whether it's mine or another one, we can help you do that. Next slide, Melinda. So just to give you a sense of all the different chambers and business associations, we are not all the same. There are some that are designed for those big companies, the Fortune 500s, the C-suite folks. There are some that are like affinity groups, Asian American, Black chamber. There are a lot of us. So I would encourage you to explore. If I'm not the right chamber for you, I will tell you. It'll make me sad, but I'll tell you which one is a better fit for you. It's a little overwhelming for folks when they realize just how many of us there are. All right, my friends, back to the challenge question.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. You are so approachable and make it very easy to collaborate with and work with. So thanks for being here. And we appreciate your presentation. There are a lot of chambers. I know that's a common question I see come up. So for folks attending today, as we transition into Q&A, again, please do under reactions in the Zoom bar, you can click there to raise your hand. You can raise your hand. You can drop a question in chat. I'll be monitoring chat. Melinda is going to be our moderator, so she'll call on you to have you go. So just be ready to unmute and then mute when you're done with your question. Jennifer, both for you and for folks who want to ask questions, let's just make sure we keep it concise so we can get as many ideas and thoughts and questions captured as possible. Thanks. Melinda, over to you.
Great presentation, Jennifer. First question up is Rosemary.
Good morning, Jennifer Rose. What a great presentation. It's so wonderful hearing your story and the story of the chamber. You and I have met and talked a few times, and I learned something today. So thanks for all the history. In terms of your challenge question, I love the testimonials. I think it would be awesome to go back to an ROI in your messaging about what the chamber can do. There's soft ROI and hard ROI. I think you've got the soft ROI, really, I love that word, bubble. But if you could take some of those testimonials and turn them into, we've made a small investment and we've gotten X% in sales, yada, yada. I think for people running businesses today, that's going to be a critical factor for where they put their money. Because I've seen a lot of networking groups sort of skidding along and closing. And so getting folks to come back to a paid networking group is really going to be about ROI for them. Love your work. Love you.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Rosemary.
Please put your hands up in the with your emoji. And in the meantime, I've got a question for Jennifer. Jen, why did you choose working for a chamber? What?
Good question, Melinda. My background is nonprofit fundraising, development, communications work. And I've known our board chair here at the chamber for many years. We are both in Fairfax Rotary. I've known him for 12 years. The nonprofit I used to work for was a member of this chamber. I was aware of its problems. Doug Church, our board chair, started to pick my brain about hiring a person, not realizing he was targeting me because I'm a helper. The more I thought about the position, the more I thought, man, this would be a really interesting challenge and very cool. I'm still helping the community. I love to connect people. I've always been a connector. And that's kind of how I landed here. I thought, well, this will be fun. And it never feels like work, Melinda, except when I'm doing the budget. And then it feels like work. But it's kind of how I got here.
That's very cool. Kenneth, you're next. Portnoy. Yeah.
You're muted, Kenneth.
There we go. Jennifer, it's a great story. The chamber's bounce back when knocked down over the last couple of cycles is just remarkable. And we've had some contact with through 1 Million Cups to your chamber, and the programs that you support are just awesome. I'm going to be the contrarian of the group. Those who know me know that's not an unusual position for me. Have you done any market testing on the notion of ROI? Is ROI what your members are really looking for? Or are they looking for something that you can talk about in a different way? So for example, community, you provide community. I might join a country club for community. I don't measure the ROI on the community. ROI is hard-nosed, business-oriented, which is appropriate for a chamber. But I'm just curious if you've done any market testing or checking with your happiest people about whether ROI is the focus that they're looking for.
Great question, Kenneth. And a part of what I'm doing today is some of that market testing. When I first came to the chamber in 2018, I had a lot of conversations with current chamber members, former chamber members, never chamber members, all trying to understand their thoughts and feelings about what a chamber membership should be. Because I had this great blank slate. I could kind of make this chamber anything it needed to be. And I kept hearing, well, you know, this is an investment. What am I getting for my $300? What am I getting for my $400? And that's kind of where I am today. And with so many things changing because of COVID, is it a return on investment or is it that need for community and support? now do we just need a therapy group? I don't know. So this is a part of my market testing.
Next question is Paul Riley, and then Kenneth, do you have another question? Is that why your hand's up, or do I need to lower it? Go ahead, Paul.
Perfect. Thank you all. So literally before this call, I was on a different networking group meeting, and the person was talking about another chamber and how they couldn't adapt their technology. It was a waste of his time, X, Y, and Z. I don't believe that to be the case here. And I know I probably attend close to 10, if not more, networking groups any given week. I love the in-person. The question, though, is how do you stand out from all the other groups? There's, in my opinion, for my business, there are definitely advantages to having in-person events, and then there are advantages to having virtual. No real group that I'm a part of, I feel like, has really figured out what's the best mix of the two. But my question would be, are you working with other networking groups, not even in the chamber community, to cross refer?
Yes, Paul, funny you should mention that. I'm a part of Nexco National. I'm in the Springfield chapter. And for a period of time earlier this year, we were doing joint virtual B2B speed networking events. They have moved on. I think they're working with the Reston Chamber right now. Our chamber is doing in-person networking events. We've been doing in-person events since June. And I offer in-person things, I offer virtual things. I do not offer hybrid things. I tried some hybrid stuff with my Rotary Club that was just a disaster, and have decided to steer clear of that. It requires more tech support and more staff. I am a staff of one to execute those events well, but I do try to work with other organizations, and Nexco is just one great example.
Kenneth, I think you have another question.
Let me hold off on that. I'm trying to get the first one in the chat.
Okay. Michael Mort, you've got a question. And then I've got Jen. Actually, I had Jen first, but Michael Mort, why don't you go, and then Jen Dalton.
I can yield to Jen. We're buddies.
One of you.
So I'll go ahead. Thank you, Dr. Moore. That's very chivalrous of you. I appreciate it. A question, Jennifer, that I would have is there a way that you capture metrics on your members for how have they grown year to year? Is that something you've considered? And it could just be a simple net promoter score where you do a member survey and just ask them to say, do they love being a member? Would they recommend it? But it could also be things like, how have they grown, or what are their priorities for the coming year? Many people right now, their biggest challenges are hiring and building the right culture, making sure they retain talent. So, as those things happen, are you seeing your events shift to respond to that as well? Because events are one of the huge values that I get from chamber memberships, as well as meeting people. So what are your thoughts on how you measure how well the chapter is doing? And then where are you listening to be able to adapt and adjust?
Yeah, I haven't surveyed the membership in a while, and I probably should do that as we're coming out of the pandemic. But I do listen a lot to what my members are saying. You talked about the hiring challenge. We are currently partnering with the County Economic Development Authority, the county's Long-Term Care Coordinating Council, the Virginia Employment Commission, and a couple of other groups to host a virtual health and care fair next month to help businesses that operate senior living facilities, nursing homes, things that provide services to older adults and adults with disabilities, trying to get them some employees because they're really hurting and struggling. And we are looking to do another one of those in the service industry next year. So we definitely try to become responsive to what we're hearing our members need, but I have not done any asking or any real measuring in a while.
Dr. Michael Mort, you're next.
Thank you. Just real quick, Jennifer, if you already mentioned this, I missed it, but what are the characteristics of your ideal chamber member? Is it B2B, B2C, size, whatever you want to talk about?
I didn't mention it. I don't care if a chamber member is a B2B business or a B2C. Obviously, I have restaurants. I have a few retail locations, not as many as I would like. And I certainly have a good number of B2B businesses. We have been traditionally very small business focused. I would like to diversify our membership a little bit. Although if you look at the businesses that are within the city of Fairfax, I mean, it's not a hotbed of major industry. There's not a lot of big employers within the city. So that's kind of why we've just focused on what is here and available. But 97% of businesses are that small business sector. So yeah, I think I've answered your question.
Next, we have Maureen Desmond, then we have Kenneth Portnoy, and then we have Rosemary.
Thanks, Melinda. Hi, Jen. Thanks for inviting me today.
Oh, thanks for being here, Maureen. I appreciate it.
Oh, yes. I'm on the same Nextco networking within the same chapter as Jen. So back to, I think it was Paul's question. Yep, there's a lot of networking going on. What stands out for me a lot of times is, there are a lot of other chambers, like you said, Jen. There are a lot of networking opportunities. This market is just full of so much. So the connection is always important for me. Like, how connected is someone in a specific community? And that's how I feel like Central Fairfax stands out. You're boutique, you're unique, and you are in the community, which I absolutely love. So I'm considering joining, but a question that I have, or a thought, is those who are within your organization, your chamber, maybe taking some of what their top 5 reasons there are that they are, not each one, but take the top 5 reasons overall of why they are a part of your chamber, and maybe put that on your website. Maybe it's already there. Just a thought, because I know how just knowing you is a huge connection, and it goes out to the masses. So I just wanted to say that, and just say that as a suggestion.
Thank you, Maureen. I appreciate that.
You bet.
So next we have Ken, then we have Rosemary, and then we have Gresham.
I'm back. Jennifer, when I think of chambers are about power and connections to power and influencing governmental authorities, both on the local legislative side and the local administrative side. Is that an aspect of chambers that's important to your community? Is that something that's included? And is that something that you want to market?
Yeah, it is right now in the city of Fairfax. I was talking earlier, the city of Fairfax is introducing a stormwater utility. A lot of people call it a rain tax, and it's going to impact our commercial business folks. We are blessed that we have a very good relationship with this city of Fairfax, local government officials and the staff that work with economic development, public works, and all that. Last year, during the height of COVID, I was certainly on the phone a lot with and speaking to members of congressional staffs, and they do listen to chambers. I know Senator Warner's office reached out to one of the folks that I was telling them about with their trials and tribulations with the PPP process, which we all know was a disaster. It's an important part of chamber membership that chamber members often forget about. They're always focused on the networking and who can you connect me to, but there's a lot of stuff that I do behind the scenes on their behalf that sometimes they don't know about, and I should probably do a better job of reminding them of, hey, I'm doing this. I go to city council meeting every Tuesday night. It's a rocking good time to listen to what the city's got planned. I don't pay as close attention to Fairfax County as I should, probably. Some of it's bandwidth, some of it is their their council meetings or board of supervisor meetings are basically all day Tuesday. But I do read the supervisors' updates and keep, I try to keep on top of what the county has in mind for our business owners. But I probably should remind our members of that work that I do behind the scenes on their behalf.
It would be interesting to see whether or not that's something that creates motion and action towards membership among your prospects. We are your conduit to power.
Next, we have Rosemarie and then Gresham.
Hello again, Jennifer. It's a recurring theme. You had mentioned earlier that you are looking to expand the membership of the chamber. Do you have a specific vertical, a specific type of company? You said you'd like to see more retail, maybe some bigger customers. Is there a specific thing that you focused on? I'd like to have X kind of business or Y size of business, or is it just, I know what I have today and what I'm kind of missing? So I'll ask that as a question and then I'll give you a suggestion after that.
I appreciate that. I mean, there's no shortage of potential members for this chamber. I mean, in the city of Fairfax alone, there are literally thousands of businesses. And I have about 110 city businesses that are in this Chamber of Commerce. So there's a very deep pool, and it's just a matter of, I think, letting them know we're here. A lot of them don't even know about us. I mean, you guys, business owners are busy. They don't pay attention. They don't know what's going on around them. They're just focused on getting their product out, their service out. Have I sat down and kind of been like, okay, this is the business that I want? No, I haven't, because I know that I can help many businesses of all shapes and sizes, and I want to help many businesses of all shapes and sizes.
Okay, what I heard is that your segment is the Fairfax City universe of businesses, and they're all different kinds of businesses in Fairfax City. And that also is a way of determining the type of business you want to speak to. It's geography based as opposed to how they're serving customers or what size they are in serving those customers. The reason I asked the question is because if you know who you're talking to, you can tailor what you're saying to them. So, building on some of the prior comments, Ken's comment, Melinda's comments, a few comments, you, Jennifer, bring a lot of value to Fairfax City businesses. And you have, I think, nailed the soft ROI stuff. But I think getting into, because you're already in Fairfax City, these are the benefits that we bring to you as the CFCC, right? And then really hitting the top 3 points that you think are the biggest problems that are impacting businesses in Fairfax. And I think highlighting this, we're working on this storm drain tax. We work as a multiplied voice on your behalf for these Fairfax City or Fairfax County issues. Because all of a sudden, instead of them going, well, it's just another networking event, it's actually more than that. It's multiplying their voice in Fairfax City as a business owner. And even though you can't put a real dollar value on that, that is a huge ROI impact to a business. So this kind of, underlays what Ken was saying and what Melinda was saying. I'll put it in the chat so you have it. How's that?
Thanks.
Next, we have Gresham, and then we have Jen, and then I've got a question too that I want to get in there.
Awesome job, Jen. The only thing I was surprised about is that you said that you were the oldest of your siblings. I feel like there's at least 3 or 4 of you because I always see you everywhere. You're super active, so I appreciate you tremendously. So I've been in and out of a lot of different chambers myself, and I was actually trying to ask myself, like, why is that? But I would just an idea that I actually read about, and I'll try to find. I was listening to a podcast. There's a chamber like in Florida, and they completely changed like their model. They went to do like kind of like a Dropbox model, a quote unquote freemium model, where they automated a lot of the things that they had because I don't think they had a really big staff. So they did a lot of things through automation, through emails and things like that. And they allowed people to sign up completely for free, because they didn't, it didn't require like a lot of the welcoming and things like that. They had automated a lot of that because they're a smaller staff. But what they did, and I think that, if I was there, I probably would have liked to have joined that, because they were really value focused in terms of creating different ways that they can engage. Like they had like and I'll check and see like a visibility, just different ways that people can basically pay for what they're looking for. It's not necessarily like you have to pay and then you don't use it, which I've done a lot with chambers. It's more like you already know what you want. These are the menu of options that we have. So you pay for that. So I thought it was a really cool model to kind of like look at. If I find the podcast, I'll send it over to you, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that, but just maybe another idea that might be cool.
No, I appreciate that, Gresham. I am a member of the Virginia Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives, as well as the Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives. And I have seen some chambers that are moving to that model. I find it interesting that 4 years in, I can't, baby steps in my changes, but I do like that concept. It's kind of like, the old DirecTV, satellite TV. You're paying for 1,000 channels, but you only watch like 3 of them.
Right,
So
exactly.
I get that. And I think it's a very interesting concept.
Go ahead, Jen, and then I've got a question.
2 quick questions. What is it that you're doing as a chamber that you're most excited about? And where have you found the most new members? I do think there is a lot on the messaging piece, but I'd love to know those answers, because I think that's that can be interesting and helpful for the group too.
What am I doing that I'm most excited about? I'm excited about so many things, Jen. Gosh. I think I'm most excited about the connecting that I do amongst my members, whether it's to other members, non-members, people within the city, county, that will help them, advance their cause, grow, thrive, succeed, survive. I know that I've had more than one member tell me if it weren't for me connecting them with the community bank last year, they would have gone under because their big box bank wasn't helping them. And I love that. Remind me of your other question, Jen.
Where are you getting the most new members from? What channels? Is it referral, or do you find them coming to events and then join? Like, what would you say are the top, we can say 1, 2, or 3 ways you found members join?
As of late, and I am at pre-COVID levels in terms of new members coming in each month, which is awesome. I've been out in the community for the last 1.5 years, meeting a ton of people. I have been in gazillion Zooms, whether it's 1 Million Cup, Nextco, Marvin Powell's Roundtable, BNI groups, wherever I've been invited, I've gone and I've put my face out there and tried to educate people throughout that process on the value of a chamber beyond those networking events that we really couldn't do, or at least couldn't do the way people were thinking of them. And slowly but surely, it's starting to come to fruition, where these folks that I've been talking to for the last 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, even 12 months, are joining the chamber. They're finally comfortable. COVID's not scaring them. The fog is kind of lifted and they're ready to make that commitment. But I still have a very, very long list of people that I have shared information with about the chamber that haven't come off the fence yet. And I would love to push them over the fence right into my lap. But patience, my friend. I'm patiently impatient, or impatiently patient, whichever way it goes.
So we have time for a few more questions. One thing I would say, Jennifer, is you are the face of the chamber. I don't say that just because you're the only full-time person there, right? That's not what I'm like. You are, because you are such a great connector. You're always out networking. And I think the more you can share consistently with what you're doing, the better. But you will only have so much time. So there's probably some things to look at, automating, etc. I think hiring a marketing person is a great place to start.
Yes, it is, my friend. Yes, it is. One thing that struck me as I was out in the community so much over the last 1.5 years is how I didn't see other chambers out there. And I couldn't understand why they weren't out there, especially chambers that had staff, people that they could send. So I feel like I was on the right track there, and I was doing a public service, not just for my chamber, but for all chambers of commerce.
So my quick question is something that we were talking about when we were working on your presentation, and it's going back to doing something in the community and reconnecting the community, but a little bit differently. So instead of having people by what they do, it's like who they call on, who their target audience is. And if you did in January as part of a, almost like a getting to know you, but getting to re-engage with you, and you might even want to do this with another chamber. And there are a couple ways you can do it. You can do a speed networking event. The other thought is to do an event where you set up tables by folks that call on the same target audience, but they're not really competitive. And maybe they are, but you're never really competitive with somebody, because you've got a sweet spot, and somebody may do something better than you, and it doesn't mean that you're really competitive with them. But you could even have discussion questions for the tables, and then one person present at the end. So for half an hour or 20 minutes, let the table discuss something, and then have somebody summarize what they discussed and what the results were as the second part of the meeting, so that everybody can learn from the different tables. That has been a really great way to get to know people really well and get people communicating with each other on a one-to-one, well, not one-to-one, but within a group, a small group level, so that they really can see that they want to get together with people from this group again. And maybe the table might want to meet regularly or do something. But possibly doing a joint chamber thing. I know that down here, the Alexandria Chamber does things with the Arlington Chamber, and they do things with the Mount Vernon Lee Chamber, and they have events where each group hosts each other and their members. So that, again, makes the reach a lot bigger. And it also helps because they may know somebody, they may live in Arlington, and Arlington is not the easiest place to get to from Alexandria. So if I know somebody in Arlington, I would probably recommend that they join the Arlington Chamber, unless they're doing all their business in Alexandria, for an example. But also looking at another way that people network is putting all the people together, but by who they're calling on, because a lot of groups have power teams, but the power teams really aren't based on who you're calling on.
So just a quick time check.
Yeah, I think it's time for the last question, which, Jen, would you please ask the last question?
I would be more than happy to, even though I could talk with Jennifer Rose all day long and have lots of fun. What can we as the 1 Million Cups group do to help you? I know I didn't say that in Donnell voice. What can we as the 1 Million Cups group do for you?
Tell the world about my little chamber of commerce. There are a lot of us, so they may not be aware of us, or just reminding folks you work with. Hey, do you work with, are you a member of your local chamber of commerce? Do you even know what the chamber is? Because it's a great tool for success for a business owner. And it's really a very affordable tool.
And I will tell you, when business owners ask me which chambers to consider, I might list a few, but you're the only one where I say, you have got to meet Jennifer Rose from the Central, right? From Central Fairfax Chamber, because you are such a connector. And as I say that in true honesty, although I do like chocolate and wine, but in all honesty, I really do share that, because you're the face of the organization. So definitely pat yourself on the back for that, because that is a huge win, and just definitely keep doing that. So if we can go to the next slide. Thank you again for presenting today. I think there are people who definitely want to follow up offline and give you more feedback as well, but great job sharing and working hard to make your customers happy and find new customers. That's fantastic. So next week, we have Senior Life Enrichment Consultants. Please join us. Hi, Adriana, do you want to say a quick hi and talk about that?
I'll speak quickly because I have a barking dog. Sorry. I look forward to having everyone join me next week. I am transitioning and I could definitely use some feedback. Thank you.
Awesome.
We'll be in a closet somewhere next week.
We did not hear any of the closet stuff. I'm sure she'll be happy and asleep and chewing on a bone or something. But we look forward to having you next week. We do have presenters booked out through December. Thanksgiving, we are taking off, although we will miss all of you. But please, as you're spreading the word about 1 Million Cups as well, we are booked through December. Now we're looking for folks in January. So if you have business owners you work with and they just have a question that has stumped them, or if it's a person with an idea trying to figure out, do I even want to start a business? Those are great introductions for us. They can apply at 1millioncups.com/Fairfax. And we assign them an organizer. We help them prepare to present. So if you don't like PowerPoint, or if you don't like speaking, or you're not sure what to say, we help guide you through all of that. Like I said, we're a friendly lot. Thank you again to Gresham and to John for being here as our brand ambassadors. We appreciate it. If anyone is interested in thinking about being an organizer and you want to try it out, we would love to have you join us and just see what it's like. Just as a reminder, we are looking for a December sponsor. You literally just have to say yes, right? There's no money involved. You get to say, yes, I would love to be a sponsor. And then you can speak about yourself every week. One of the things that the Central Fairfax Chamber does is have an amazing list of events. So Jennifer Rose, I'm going to turn it back over to you to speak about what events are coming up that people should know about.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm channeling Russ McIntosh now. I know he did this for you guys for many years. We've got a lot of great events on the chamber calendar. Some of them are chamber hosted, some of them are chamber member hosted. So it's important to keep that in mind. But highlights, Russ's event, 1 week from today, the Fairfax Business Meetup, middle of the day, middle of the week, middle of the month. It should be a great program. I believe Reggie Holmes is his guest. Our young professionals group next Wednesday is crashing George Mason's men's basketball away game watch party at Coyote Grill. So if you're a basketball fan, come hang out with us. Our women's committee next week has a great monthly meeting where the talk is planning for prosperity, what every woman should know. It is important to note that men are always invited to come to our women's committee meetings. And then if you want to learn even more about the chamber and all the fun stuff I have going on Friday the 19th, I do have a Chamber 101 session, little orientation and info via Zoom. So the Women's Committee and the Young Professionals are in person. Russ's event is in person, but Chamber 101 is done via Zoom.
Fantastic, thank you. And for folks who are in the community enjoying, if you have an event you want to share, just drop us a line. I'm going to put my email in chat. But we're happy to add events and feature them. It is not, we just love spreading the word of good things. So thank you for being here again. If you know someone who is interested in starting a business or just curious for feedback, they're facing a challenge question around how do I get hiring or what should I be thinking about for next year? We need to be a little more specific than that, but we're happy to help give them free coaching and free feedback. So again, 1millioncups.com/Fairfax. It is hard being a business owner, but it's awesome. I should say, and it's awesome. Those two things can both be true at the same time, but you don't have to be alone. We have a great community here, great network of people who are happy to help and support and assist. So thank you again for being here today. We appreciate it. And I think that we have maybe one more slide about the Kaufman Foundation. So again, this is all funded through the Kaufman Foundation, and there are chapters all over the US. So if you know business owners in other markets, they can go to 1millioncups.com and they can also find a market to present in. We have several in this area, whether it's out in Loudoun or DC or Prince William. So again, it's a great networking of group. It's a great opportunity to meet other people. So thank you for joining us. Do join us next Wednesday, same bat time, same bat place on Zoom. You can get the registration link again, 1millioncups.com/Fairfax. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. I'm going to go ahead and stop our live stream and we will see you all next